Hi, my name is Connie and I'm a 5th grade teacher in Montana. My presentation today is called It's Okay to Feel That Way, using color to help put a name to students' feelings. I've been a teacher for 28 years. I've taught grades kindergarten through high school, and over the years, I've seen students' ability to express their feelings and their emotions decline. In kindergarten, I expected students to be like that. They have limited number of words to express how they feel, and they may not even know how they're feeling or what it is that they're feeling. But over the last few years, I've seen this struggle in all grades with all ages. It's important for students to understand that they aren't the only ones feeling this way, and how to put a name to that feeling and how to possibly alleviate it through relaxation techniques. I've also told my students it's okay to feel however you're feeling, it's just how you deal with it that you need to change. This group of activities is an introduction as to help students identify their feelings through color and understand the immense number of feelings and the depth of those feelings that they have. I found in the past that with some of my more challenging students, these activities really open up a conversation about how they're feeling and empathy about how others are feeling as well.
I began the lesson by asking the students to think about their breathing. I usually do this after recess so I can refer to whatever activity they were doing and compare it to the breathing they do while sitting in their seat. In my class, we talk a lot about breath and how when you're frustrated, angry, or stressed, you stop breathing. When you stop breathing, your brain becomes oxygen deprived and you can't think or make good choices. I then had them choose one color of a colored pencil set. You can use any medium, but I like how the pencil can be light as we're talking about breathing in and out slowly, and how it can show a depth of color as we discuss breathing when you're mad and after you ran, or even when you hiccup. Then we put words to the lines. What are you feeling when you're breathing calmly, or after a run, or if your breaths are short? I made the list to support the learners in my classroom, and then had them choose a few to add to their paper. We recently read about anger and discussed the importance of counting to 4 while taking a deep breath. This brings oxygen to the brain and gets you to think more clearly. Then I asked the students what color they chose for the activity. We then discussed why a color might be considered warm or hot or cold, and that colors have meanings. Colors make you feel a certain way. On the following slides in Google Classroom, I had the students write down how each color made them feel.
We all see colors differently, and because of that, it may mean different things to different people and make them feel different ways. Every individual associates different experiences with different colors. The relaxation of a sunset or the love from being given a rose
is the very reason why people prefer certain colors over others. This preference we have for certain colors also gives clues about our personalities, that certain colors will influence the decisions we make in our lives.
Some colors can help us feel calm. These colors are usually in the blue spectrum, like the colors of the ocean, or a cold day, or a grassy field full of flowers.
Different colors evoke different emotions within us and often can be used to describe how we're feeling. I might be in a red mood if I'm feeling kind of angry. And I might be in a blue mood if I'm feeling kind of sad. As I told my students, different colors evoke different emotions within us, and certain colors may work positively in one environment but not in another. For example, many offices use brown and grays in their decor because it's been shown to have positive effects on productivity. Commercials geared towards car sales more often than not will feature a black car. That's because black's associated with seriousness and suggests that this product's worth buying. Even restaurants use color to make us feel like we're hungry. If all of these places are using color to make us feel a certain way, then let's help kids use color to understand how they're feeling. When the students completed the Google slide assignment, we looked at their answers. We compared how one person might have felt about one color to how another person felt about it, and then we compared it to definitions that I had found. I told them that there is no right or wrong answer. Everybody sees color differently.
Some people might prefer a bright pink bedroom, while others feel more comfortable with green. Neither is correct.
And we even talked about people that are colorblind and maybe can't see color at all. I gave them this worksheet, the picture of the heart, with 5 squares, and I asked them to pick 5 colors that they felt in their heart showed how they're feeling on the inside today, and then to use words to describe those feelings.
During this activity, I made it clear to the students that it is possible to have many feelings in their heart at one time. But I also noticed that many of the words the students chose came from the list we'd made previously, or are simplified to the 3 primary emotions they're familiar with: mad or angry, sad, and happy. So for the next activity, we worked on a color wheel, using red, yellow, and blue as our primary colors, but also showing them as our primary feelings and emotions. When we began mixing our colors together to make new colors, as well as the lighter and darker colors, students could literally see the changes in the colors, as well as the intensity. The same way a student who's feeling mad might have a very dark red color because they are simply furious, whereas a student who's feeling sad might not be super sad, so their color might be lighter. Just as pink can't be called red anymore, neither can mad or sad be used to explain the exact feeling they're experiencing. They have a wide range of emotions, just like the color wheel, and we are going to work together to give them the tools to understand and express themselves.
When students completed their color wheels, I showed them the emotional color wheel. It's great for recognizing how different emotions relate to different colors, and even how certain colors can affect our mood. This can help students gain insight in how they're feeling and what sort of issues they may be dealing with. I found this activity useful for building rapport with them, getting them to talk openly and express comfortably how they're feeling by using the colors. Sometimes when I ask students how they're feeling in the morning, they'll say they feel okay. And as you can imagine, okay is a very vague term, and it means different things to different people, so it doesn't really help me in letting me know how they're truly feeling. So using the color wheel, I can ask them, what color of okay are you feeling? And it'll give me a better idea of what their emotions are for that day. For her next activity, I asked students to come up with 8 emotions. Some of them had a difficult time with that, and so I allowed them to put things that they felt they were good at that caused an emotion, and we discussed what emotion that was. But it was difficult for them to actually write the emotion down, so I allowed some flexibility in that. I began by taking a photograph of them, running it off on our printer, and then having them cut it out. I wanted them to be the center of their picture. Then I wanted them to think from the heart. What is it that you feel? What emotions do you have? I found it interesting that some students picked very similar colors, or the colors that they liked or found appealing, but then I had a student that took colors and colored each word that he had put for an emotion down a different color. While they were painting, I wandered around the classroom asking them some questions. Why did you choose that color for that emotion? Why do you relate that color with that emotion? Where in your life are you currently experiencing that emotion? I reminded students that there is really no right or wrong answer for any of the colors that they chose. It's simply a platform for which they can start to feel confident and they can identify what they're feeling. It's important that they recognize and are able to articulate what it is that they're feeling, and by using colors as a representational symbol, it helps them with this process. This is particularly helpful for children who are struggling with verbalizing their feelings, and it can be an effective prevention tool to use when they may be prone to experiencing extreme, heightened emotions such as anger. Another activity I did was using old magazines to have my students cut out pictures that were meaningful to them. Things that were important, or things such as a family pet or a favorite place. Children can put together the pictures they choose and then have a discussion about what they chose and why they chose those pictures. Having that discussion about values and why we feel strongly about certain things is an important practice for developing self-awareness. With this activity, children can visualize the things that mean the most to them and share with others about why those things are important. Children can also learn others' values and help them increase empathy and understand and appreciate their diversity and perspectives. We can learn more about each other's social, cultural, and historical backgrounds through visualization of our values. The more students become aware of themselves and how they feel, the easier it is for them to understand how others feel. I think it's important for students to understand that they're not the only people that have these feelings. I like to bring in artists that show a distinct difference between different types of art that they've done. Van Gogh is an easy one to choose.
Van Gogh had 2 distinct periods of his life. During one, he used bright colors and what we consider bright and happy themes. During the periods when he suffered from depression and suicidal thoughts, his paintings became much darker. His moods and emotions can be seen through his work, and students can see art as a medium to deal with emotions.
Ben Pease is a local artist in Montana. He grew up on the Crow Indian Reservation in the town of Lodgegrass. This artwork is in stark contrast to Van Gogh's Starry Night, and a good opportunity to ask the students why they think that he used so much red on a black background. And finally, I like to use the Dutch modern painter Piet Mondrian, who is best known for his 1920 work of art that featured only horizontal and vertical lines, along with black and white and primary colors. These pieces reflect his belief that objects must be simplified down to their basic elements to reveal their energy and balance. Though he began his artistic career as a traditional landscape painter, his artistic work evolved and progressed until they were purely abstract versions of his modern reality. I like to tie this one back into our color wheel, where he used the basic colors of blue, yellow, and red, with no variance in between. After I've taught the students about moods and feelings and artists and all of their emotions that go into their work, I give them their picture again and I have them add colors as we talk through different emotions. How do you feel when you're being bullied? When your parents aren't there for you? When your best friend tells you she doesn't want to be your friend anymore? They add color when they feel those emotions, usually internally. Then I explain to them about how these are external forces affecting how you feel, things you have no control over, but the weight of them can be very heavy. I then ask them to paint the colors around their cutout of when they do well on a test or when someone gives them a compliment, and we look at the different colors and express how they feel about those colors. The last activity I do is using the book The Best Part of Me by Wendy Ewald. I take a picture of the student's favorite part of themselves, and we use the words and colors from the previous lessons to paint and make a poem about the best part of them. I really stress looking at your parts and not at the whole, so when they feel down, they remember there are parts of themselves they really like when their whole feels incomplete or broken. I'd like to thank Udemy for providing background information in the Arts Therapy class by Libby Siri. I also want to thank you for taking part in my class. My hope is you have found some strategies to encourage your students or yourself to understand their feelings and express them in a more positive manner and promote self-esteem and a healthy, happier learning.